Try putting your phone down, or at least recognize that what you're holding in your hand is one of the bricks that helps build the wall separating you from the real world. In previous podcast episodes, we peeled back the layers of debt, of attention being exploited, and of the consumer matrix. But none of those mechanisms can ever reach maximum effectiveness if they don't possess one crucial foundation: the loneliness of the individual. You are standing in a city of millions, with thousands of friends on social media, and you can connect with anyone on the other side of the globe in a single second. And yet, why has the feeling of emptiness and loneliness never been so dense as it is now? Why have the rates of depression and self-inflicted death in the most developed countries such as the United States, Japan, and South Korea reached record highs in this hyper-connected era? The answer does not lie in technology's fault. It lies in a systematic strategy. Welcome to today's decoding of the matrix of loneliness, where the bonds between people are severed to turn you into the most easily guided entity in human history. Welcome to Inner Shadow, where there are truths society does not want you to know. To control a crowd, the best way is not to use force, but to break them down until each person becomes an independent atom with no support from the community. In sociology, this is called the process of social atomization. Let's look back at human history. For tens of thousands of years, in ancient times, we survived thanks to tribal structures. Community cohesion was the armor that protected humans from wild beasts and natural disasters. But for the current governance system and financial capitalism, a cohesive community is a threat. Why? Because a community that takes care of one another won't need banks to borrow money, won't need insurance corporations to buy peace of mind, and won't be easily manipulated by divisive advertising messages. This campaign of disintegration began with the Industrial Revolution in the West. People were separated from the countryside, from extended families, and thrown into unfamiliar industrial cities. There, humans were no longer members of a tribe. They became units of labor. In urban architecture in the US and Western Europe after World War II, we see the rise of suburbs with detached houses separated by fences and wide lawns. This is not privacy. This is planned isolation. People no longer sat on the porch to chat with neighbors. They crawled into concrete boxes, shut the door, and stared into a phone screen. The first brutal truth: the system needs you to be lonely so you become weak. A solitary individual is a fearful individual, and a fearful individual will seek salvation through consumption, through debt, and through the guidance of those in power. In a healthy society, humans need 3 living spaces. The first is family, the second is the workplace, and the third is a place for community connection, such as squares, tea shops, or spontaneous clubs. If we keep looking at major Western cities today, the third space is gradually disappearing or becoming fully commercialized. Public parks are shrinking. Squares become places to install billboards. The only places where you can meet others are shopping malls or coffee chains. For example, Starbucks. But at Starbucks, are you really connected? You buy a temporary seat to keep working or to keep looking at your phone. You pay to be in the middle of a crowd while still completely alone. The commercialization of connection spaces has turned relationships between people into transactions. When free and natural connection spaces no longer exist, people begin to lose real-world communication skills. We fear direct contact, fear the gaze of strangers, fear conversations that weren't scheduled in advance. The disappearance of the third space has created a massive void in the human soul. And that is exactly when the Matrix offers a perfect substitute, yet a destructive one: the digital oasis. The digital oasis. Fake connection, real loneliness. Social media was born with the promise of bringing the world closer together. But here we need to look back and see its true nature: a kaleidoscopic glass wall. Social media does not create connection, it creates performance. When you interact with someone through a screen, you are not interacting with the real person. You are interacting with a carefully edited version of them. This creates a frightening psychological consequence: silent comparison. Every time you see friends traveling, succeeding, or being happy on Facebook or Instagram, your brain does not feel connected. It feels threatened. It feels inferior. And instead of seeking support, you retreat even deeper into your shell and try to create another fake image to respond in kind. Silicon Valley algorithms turn your loneliness into a diamond mine. A lonely person spends more time on social media searching for comfort. A lonely person is more easily provoked by outrage-inducing news. A lonely person is more likely to believe in conspiracy theories because they crave the feeling of belonging to a group that knows the truth. Social media has cut the deep, sensitive lines of connection between people, eye contact, tone of voice, scent, and physical presence, and replaced them with binary reactions, like and dislike. We have thousands of friends but no one to call at 2 a.m. when we are desperate. We live in an illusion of intimacy with celebrities or strangers online, while the people closest to us become unfamiliar. The system has succeeded in turning humans into digital oases, each person imprisoning themselves in their own mirror room, both lonely and self-important. The economy of emptiness. Why is loneliness profitable? Follow the money. You will see why the system wants to maintain this loneliness. A society of lonely individuals is a goldmine for consumerism. Economic research in countries like the UK and Japan has shown that lonely people tend to spend more on entertainment products, fast food, and convenience buying services. When you don't have a support network of family or friends, you have to buy everything. No one to watch your child? Hire a service. No one to confide in? Hire a therapist or buy therapy apps. No one to eat with? Order delivery. Loneliness has created billion-dollar industries. In Japan, there has been a rise in services that rent friends or rent a family to attend weddings or simply to have someone to talk to. In the U.S., the pet industry has exploded, not because people love animals more than before, but because pets are a safer substitute and less risky than complex human-to-human relationships. Moreover, a lonely employee is an ideal employee for multinational corporations. They don't have a family to hurry home to, no community to join in social activities. They more readily accept overtime, more readily relocate to another city, and more readily get swept into hustle culture, working to exhaustion, because work is the only thing defining their value. The system has turned the emptiness in your soul into fuel to drive GDP. The lonelier you are, the more you consume. The more you consume, the more you must work. And the more you work, the less time you have to connect. It is a perfect loop to keep the machine running on your sweat and despair. Divide and rule, the weapon of polarization. Individual loneliness is the foundation of collective division. When people no longer have real ties in local communities, they begin seeking belonging in abstract identities, such as politics, religion, or extreme ideologies online. The Matrix uses loneliness to create emotional leverage by pushing people to opposing extremes. The system ensures we are always busy fighting one another instead of looking up at the one pulling the strings. The rich hate the poor, the left hates the right, the older generation hates the younger generation, and vice versa. This polarization is nurtured by social media algorithms, which always prioritize divisive content because it keeps users hooked the longest. When you are lonely and feel threatened, your brain automatically searches for an enemy to blame for your pain. This is the pinnacle of the art of governance, making billions of people feel lonely, even while they are engaging in heated debates with millions of others. A society chopped up to the point of atomization will never be able to create real dialogue or lasting solidarity to challenge existing power structures. We are only isolated screams in a digital storm the system has created. The Rat Park experiment and the nature of addiction. To understand the brutality of loneliness on human biology, we must look at a famous experiment called Rat Park by psychologist Bruce Alexander. In traditional experiments, a rat is locked alone in a metal cage with 2 water bottles, one plain water and one water mixed with morphine. The rat will always choose the morphine water and drink itself to death. people concluded that the addictive substance was the cause. But Bruce Alexander asked a different question. Is it the drug, or is it the cage? He then built a rat park, a paradise for rats with good food, toys, and most importantly, many other rats to mate and play with. The result was astonishing. The rats in this park barely touched the morphine water. Even rats that had been addicted before entering the park would quit on their own and return to connection with their own kind. So the message is very clear. Addiction, including addiction to shopping, social media, and debt, is not a chemical problem. It is a problem of disconnection. Society in the West today is being designed like solitary metal cages. We are isolated from real relationships, emotionally starved, and crammed into meaningless jobs. In that environment, finding digital morphine or consumer morphine is an inevitable survival response. The system does not want to cure your loneliness. It only wants to sell you expensive painkillers so you can keep enduring your cage for one more day, then another day, and more days after that. The final and deepest consequence of the loneliness matrix is the erosion of empathy. Empathy is a skill trained through physical presence. When you sit face to face with someone, see their tears, feel their warmth and breathing, your brain activates mirror neurons to feel their pain. But when we only communicate through text or images on a screen, that empathy is shut down. That is why people can say the most toxic, cruel words on social media, things they would never dare to say directly. The screen turns humans into graphic objects instead of living beings with emotions. A society that loses empathy is a disabled society. It is a place where people can casually walk past an accident victim on the street just to film it. It is a place where someone else's suffering becomes entertainment content for consumption. Loneliness has turned us into numb entities, caring only about our own narrow safety and benefit. And that is exactly the state the governing elite desires most. A crowd of individuals who look down at their own feet instead of looking into each other's eyes. And now we have reached the rawest truths. If you feel a deep sadness, that is not depression. It is your soul resisting this metal cage. You cannot destroy the internet or change the urban planning of an entire city. But you can choose to pull the plug on loneliness, starting right now. The greatest freedom in this era is not having too much money or too much power, but having the ability to truly connect. The solution is not downloading a new Make Friends app. It lies in a kind of social guerrilla action. And now, here are 3 rules to break the matrix of loneliness. Rule number 1. Prioritize absolute physical presence. Establish no digital zones in your life. When you eat with friends, put your phone in your pocket. When you talk with loved ones, look them straight in the eyes. 1 hour of direct conversation is worth more than 1,000 hours of texting. Presence is the most precious gift humans can give one another. Start reclaiming third spaces for yourself, even if it's just a corner of a park or a sidewalk iced tea stall. Rule number 2. Break the convenience of loneliness. The system wants you to choose convenience, so it can isolate you. Don't order fast food if you can go out to eat with colleagues or cook with your lover, your spouse. Don't keep hoarding and hoarding and hoarding and then shop online like crazy. If you can walk to a local store and chat a bit with the shopkeeper, or go grocery shopping with your lover, your husband, your wife, accept the inconvenience of interacting with real people. Those small frictions are what nourish empathy and a sense of belonging. Rule number 3. Build your own small tribe. Don't try to have thousands of virtual friends. Find a group of 3 to 5 people you can completely trust, people who dare to be vulnerable in front of you, and vice versa. Build a support network based on sincerity, not on exchanging benefits. In a world of illusion, sincerity is an act of rebellion. Protect your tribe from the invasion of algorithms and work pressures. The loneliness matrix is sophisticated, but it can exist only if you keep your heart closed. When you dare to step out, dare to touch others, dare to empathize with the pain of your fellow humans, you are directly breaking one link in the system of control. Remember, you are not alone in this loneliness. Billions of people out there are also staring at screens and longing for something real. Be the one who takes the initiative to break that silence. Awakening begins with recognizing that we need each other to be human. Welcome back to the tribe of the awakened. Welcome back to finding yourself in the eyes of another. Today's podcast episode is a reminder of what truly matters beneath the shell of technology.